how do you stand out in a competitive market? How do you get jobs coming to you instead of you applying to dozens, if not hundreds of jobs? Well, actually, the answers can be quite straightforward. Personal branding. I'll admit, I feel ick saying those words. I'm not a fan. You could say online reputation, but ultimately, the more people that know you and the easier you are to find, the more chance you've got of things, jobs, opportunities coming to you. So in this video, 5 steps, 5 ways to make your LinkedIn profile stand out. Now, before we get on to these 5 steps, there's 2 things I want people to do. One is please follow LinkedIn's recommendations. They offer, I think it's 9 steps or something like that to basically have an all-star profile. Please, please, please do it because LinkedIn likes it. So there's a reason for that. If you have a full profile, essentially they'll just open up more of LinkedIn to you. So you'll be easier to be found. That's it. Secondly, is I find quite a few people put more effort into their resume than their LinkedIn profile. Now, let's look at this situation. What's going to have more eyeballs? Your resume, which when you send it to an organization might get seen by 2, 5, 10 people in terms of talent acquisition, recruiters, HR, the hiring manager or interviewers, or your LinkedIn profile that could be seen by thousands of people per month. So that's not to say put more effort into your profile, but at least put the same effort in. So what I really mean is have an excellent kick-ass resume and then take that information, put it on your LinkedIn profile. So get those 2 fundamentals out the way. Then the first step is your LinkedIn headline. A lot of people just go for, quite frankly, the boring job title. As an example, SOC analyst. Okay, that helps because it could get you found if I'm looking for a SOC analyst. But really, I think try and have something that makes you pop. Tell people what you actually do. And also you have the chance to add sort of additional keywords in there, which increases the chance of getting found by people like me, recruiters. So an example is you could have SOC analyst, or you could have protecting organizations from cyber threats, line, SOC analyst, line, threat hunting, line, incident response. So for me, it works on 2 levels. One, because you're telling me what you do rather than just job title. Secondly, and this is really key, is more keywords. Touch on keywords in other parts too, but very simply, the reason why they're important is because it's the way recruiters work. So a recruiter will go onto LinkedIn. Usually they'll use LinkedIn Recruiter, and there's essentially different filters and things like that, but they run keyword searches. So if I were looking for a SOC analyst, there's certain things that I would look at. Yes, of course, I'd be searching SOC analyst. There's a whole bunch of keywords that I would use in addition, like tools and things that the SOC analyst may do. So I might also use words like threat hunting, incident response. I might use words like SIEM, playbook, etc., etc. So think about what you do. Again, the headline, really important. And now we're touching on the next thing of skills and endorsements. So for example, this is another chance to use more keywords, get found by people like me. So there's a line, should you give everything away? For example, if I put down all the tools that we use in my organization, maybe threat actors then know what tools we use in the organization. Do we use the information on job descriptions? All right, cool. That's already out there in the public, so I'm not giving anything away. That's just an idea. Or you could actually talk about that situation internally and say, hey, should we be telling threat actors what we're actually using? Conversation for another day. But ultimately, more keywords get found by recruiters, found by lots of other people. But also it sort of adds more value, credibility and stuff to what you actually do. I love using metrics and stuff like that because it sort of validates the things that you do and not just talking about the action, but then you back up with basically the difference that you made. And ultimately that's why we're here. What difference did you make in an organization? You've got the key skills. That's a thing that recruiters use as well as a way of searching for people. And then you also have endorsements. Personally, they're okay. I don't live and breathe using endorsements myself, but if you were to get former managers using or putting endorsements on your profile, basically that's like references that people get for jobs anyway. So it's not a bad thing for people to say, oh, okay, this person was great at their job, and then other people see it and it helps validate that. Next is the featured section. This is something that not a lot of people use. This is a great way to help yourself stand out. So for me, this is all about the small wins, the small competitive advantage things that we could be doing. So you want your work to speak for for itself. This could be anything though. This could be the posts that were most engaged with. It could be your GitHub repo, sharing tools, sharing scripts, sharing things that others might find useful. This could be maybe you did a presentation at a conference, so putting in your slides. It could be the video from the presentation that you did. It could be blog posts from research that you've done that others might find helpful. What I want to make really clear is these things on LinkedIn is not about bragging. It's about validating that essentially you're good at what you do and you're backing it up with examples of different things. And this is that situation here. So try and use what you've done as ways to validate that you're good at what you do. And here's some basically things to back that up. This is probably one of the most important. It's the about section. This is like on your resume, you should have at the top like a bit of a summary, like the about you or professional summary. Same thing. Use this as a way for someone to get to know you. You've got 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Use this as your elevator pitch. You want someone to read this and know who you are instantly. Now, this is very critical, especially if you're looking to elevate your career, moving up into more senior roles. Give people basically a background of who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for next, or at least show in your communication style. And this is really important, especially if you're looking to move up into the more senior roles like a CISO or leadership roles where you engage with the business. Put business language in there. So show that you're just not a technical cybersecurity person and all you care about is technical jargon. Show that you can talk to other people, business people. And then last, but definitely not least, is community engagement. This industry is wonderful in terms of the amount of events, conferences, and all sorts of things that happen. We have so many amazing people that volunteer their time for free and do lots of cool things to help other people. Now, to be clear, this isn't about bragging rights. This is about helping yourself, but also just showing that you're very proud of what you've done as well. So if you imagine, for example, 3 people who have very similar profiles, but you've got another person within that who has volunteered at events, spoken at conferences, and done things like this, there's a lot of people that would prefer that person. So again, you want to get the wording right, that it's more about you being proud rather than showing off. But if you can do that, then again, you help yourself stand out in a crowded market. So there's lots of things like that, lots of things that, again, they're about the small wins, competitive advantages. I really hope that's helpful because, again, personal branding is important. The way you come across, what you say, how you say it is really key because tonality, again, you don't want to get that wrong. But ultimately, I want to see people help themselves. Now, if you want help, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm building CyberSec Careers. It's a community of people helping each other. We share content, we share webinars, we do different things. There are people essentially engaging, looking to support one another at different levels in the industry. It's a free platform. So again, it's people helping each other in the industry. And essentially, if you want to be part of something where you can build a bit of a network, support some people as well, and give some advice, come join. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care.